No matter what personality type you are, I think we can agree with one thing. There are a lot of stereotypes that revolve around your personality type, and most of them are completely false. But if we talk about false stereotypes, no other type can really beat INTJ. So today I'm going to talk about 7 surprising ways in which people view the INTJ personality. With that in mind, you might assume that this video will just focus on how much people dislike the INTJ personality type. And if you're an INTJ, you actually might be quite shocked after watching this video because most people really do see you in very surprising ways. Even if you're not an INTJ, make sure to tune in till the end of the video so you can finally let go of these stereotypes and have a better understanding of the INTJs in your life. Believe me, they really need that. Let's get into it. Welcome to Success for Breakfast, where I'm serving up brain food made simple. Hit that subscribe button to get the latest videos created to give you the tools to level up your life. Starting things off today in number 7 is people see INTJs as honest. The honesty of an INTJ can be interpreted differently by different people. INTJs don't inherently sugarcoat anything, but they can learn to if they determine it's a worthwhile aspect of their social engagement. But in most cases, they don't see the sense in skirting the truth. They expect others to be as honest and forthright as they are with their views, opinions, and feelings. This attribute can be refreshing or rude depending on the other person's personality type, personal preferences, and expectations. Some people think INTJs are rude, frank, or even mean. Others perceive INTJs as straightforward, practical, and direct. While some INTJs are deliberately impolite, the majority are merely driven by a desire to interact with others and the world in a productive, rational, and honest manner. One step in making friends with an INTJ is to recognize and appreciate this. Next on today's list, and number 6, is people see them as a bit too efficient. When it comes to INTJs, they don't want work that's just good enough. They want work that's absolutely perfect. That's actually one of the biggest pet peeves for INTJs. When someone around them is being inefficient, they can get frustrated or annoyed by it, and that's why people tend to think they are demanding. The thing is, INTJs just like things to go according to plan, and they want everyone to go according to plan as well. And when that doesn't happen, they get demanding. So as a boss, INTJs might be frustrating to work with, but in the bigger picture, that's a good quality they have. And they just can't control wanting to be efficient. They don't intentionally act demanding, they simply can't control it. But of course, other people don't get that. For other people, INTJs have a very high bar of work and it can seem pretty impossible to reach that bar. The 5th way other people see an INTJ is that they're intimidating. Combine the blunt honesty and the extreme need to be efficient, and people think INTJs are really intimidating. I mean, why wouldn't they? Firstly, INTJs barely smile or show their positive emotions, even if they're extremely happy or excited. Most people view INTJs as having a cool, robotic face. That's already enough to find them intimidating. But then, add the fact that people also view them as demanding, so it's completely normal that people seem to think they're really intimidating. Sure, some people might see it as competent or confident, but mostly people tend to take it negatively and view them as intimidating. And usually this point of view completely changes when someone gains an INTJ's trust. Because when someone actually gains their trust and talks to them about personal matters, INTJs actually seem more intimidated than intimidating. If you've gotten some value from this video so far, please show your appreciation and hit that like button. That signals YouTube that you think other people could benefit from this video too. Next up, and number 4 on today's list, is people think it's hard to gain their trust. A lot of people do think it's hard for them to actually gain their trust and see that side of an INTJ. And well, to be fair, there is some truth to that. But here's the interesting part. When it comes to friendships or even relationships, INTJs are extremely selective. They won't just go around and make small talk with anyone. They won't just call everyone their friend. That's because INTJs really value intelligence and intellect in their friendships. They want to be around people that can interest them with deep conversations. They want friends that they can discuss ideas, issues, and solutions. There are some people that love to gossip, but INTJs are the exact opposite of that. They aren't interested in gossip at all. Instead, they like to be around very specific people that they can have interesting conversations. And that's why people tend to think they can't gain an INTJ's trust or easily make conversation with them. Starting our top 3 on ways other people see an INTJ is extremely independent. This is probably the worst stereotype about them. People think INTJs are totally independent, which they are, but they also think that INTJs don't care about the people around them. It's true to the extent that yes, being independent and self-sufficient is one of their biggest strengths, but it's completely false that they don't care about the people around them. That's absolutely not the case. Yes, INTJs are self-reliant and they like to spend a lot of time alone, of course, considering they're introverts. Besides that, INTJs also don't like to be controlled and they like things done a certain way, like I mentioned earlier. Now, if you really think about it, that's a huge strength considering they can take care of themselves and they can stay in control and do things right. Also, they can spend time alone without feeling lonely. Some people do see it that way, but then again, some people tend to see this negatively as well. Others think of INTJs as aloof loners who don't care about the people around them. Hearing this can often hurt an INTJ because just because they don't show it all the time doesn't mean they don't appreciate the people around them. In the runner-up spot and number 2 today is they see INTJs as nice. Wait, say that again? This is a description that often perplexes INTJs, but it's one that a lot of people will use for them. The nice INTJ undoubtedly believes that this is due to their learning to keep their mouths shut and not express all of their ideas. The INTJ believes that if others truly knew what they thought, they would not mistake them for being polite. There may be some truth to it, but I believe it's more about the fact that some people know the INTJ is more than the no-nonsense exterior they present to the rest of the world. Although INTJs dislike having to rely on others, they value close social interactions. They will invest in essential friendships and create solid relationships with people in their most valuable circles. INTJs are highly devoted to the people they care about, and after they've developed a relationship, they will go out of their way to display that loyalty in the best ways they know how. Topping our list in the number 1 way people see INTJs is people think they are way too strong. One of the most common stereotypes about INTJs is that people tend to think they're way too strong and they don't get hurt easily. But that's all it is, a stereotype, and no, there's no truth behind it. Like I mentioned before, one of the cognitive functions of INTJs includes introverted feeling. That means they tend to keep their feelings hidden, and that can end up becoming a problem for them because people just think they're never hurt. People never understand what INTJs are going through because they don't show it. Even though other people might not see it as a big deal, people do end up hurting an INTJ quite a lot and simply think they wouldn't care about it. For an INTJ, this is the worst stereotype about them, but no matter how hard they try, it's just not in their personality to show their emotions to everyone. I know as an INTJ, you might feel like you're really misunderstood by the world. And sure, in a way that's true. But then again, that's simply because there's such a small number of INTJs around. So of course, for people, it can be difficult to understand you. But it's not something to worry about, because when people get to know you, they understand just how wrong they are. The people that actually care about you and are close to you will never misunderstand you. What are your thoughts on these ways other people see an INTJ? Is there anything you would add? Leave a comment and let me know. You've got this, now go get it done. Grab yourself some more brain food to help you level up your life and click on one of the videos on your screen right now.